Outside plowing, a little bit of snow, new tires, testing out the reverse lockout. So it's in first gear there right now. I've been using it and it works good. So I just tap this, neutral, reverse. I don't need to use the lockout. And that's way better for plowing because I need one hand to run the plow controls. Sheesh, oh my goodness. What is going on today? Well, I'm here in the garage with the Honda Pioneer 520. Got her in plow mode for the winter. I just finished putting on these 26-inch tires in the last video. But using this thing for plow, you're going forward and backward a lot. I'm going to attempt the reverse lockout bypass. Right there. It'll only go in reverse if you have this pulled. And when you pull it, it pulls this cable, and this cable is adjustable. I'm going to adjust the cable, try to get some tension on here. And then when you're going in and out of reverse, you don't need to pull the cable all the time. So there's a bracket here that holds the cable housing, and there's going to be two nuts on either side of the bracket. And what I'm going to do is loosen these nuts, loosen them both, and that'll allow me to adjust the cable. And I'll have to pull the cable back to try to get some tension on here. Right now there's no tension on there whatsoever. And we'll test it, and I'll show you what it does now, and then we'll test it when I'm done, and we'll see how it works. Inside the cabin, right now I'm in reverse apparently. I'll just put it in neutral. She's in neutral. Now, to put it back in reverse, you just downshift here, but it won't go in reverse unless you're pulling on this reverse handle here. So I don't know if I can do that while I'm holding the camera or not. But you hold this out, and then you pull on this paddle shifter here. And there, now it's in reverse. So this is, it's kind of a pain in the butt when you're trying to run the plow up and down. So you got one hand on the plow controls, you got one hand on the steering wheel, and then your shifters, and then this lockout. It's way more convenient if you can keep your hands on the controls here. The plow control is right here for me. So hopefully we'll be able to put it in reverse without pulling this cable every single time when we're done here. So I think these are loose now. Yeah, these are loose now. So I'm gonna back this one off as much as I can towards the rear. And that's gonna allow me to pull the cable tighter this way. When I tighten this nut here, it'll pull the whole cable back. So this nut facing the rear, or facing the handle back here, you can only go so far with it because the threads will only go so far, and you don't want to go beyond the end of the threads. So I'll try that to start with, and then we'll take this nut here and we'll tighten it up so it pulls on the cable there. If you have a stubby wrench, that might make life a little bit easier for getting in here. So as I tighten this nut, it draws the whole cable tight. There's a bit of tension on there now. And hopefully we can get it to the point where it's basically the equivalent of pulling on the handle, where the cable is tight enough that it'll engage the reverse gear. Okay, I got everything shifted. You can pretty much see the clean threads, how far I've moved it. I tried to get this rubber boot on just enough. Tried to leave just a tiny little bit of threads on the end to get this. And the cable feels pretty snug there. So I think that might be enough. So I also tightened the nuts. So you want to make sure they're tight when you're done, so nothing moves. And then I'll go test it here, make sure, see if it works. Neutral. See, I'm not touching this at all. And I'll reach over here to the gear shifter, and it works. Neutral, reverse. You can feel a little bit of like flex in the plastic, but I think the cable's pretty much pulled out most of the way. So this is gonna be pretty much obsolete now. I probably don't need to use this now. Neutral, reverse. So that's pretty handy. That should make plowing easier. There's a cigarette lighter or a power outlet down here. I'm not sure if I knew about that or if I forgot about that, but that's pretty handy on a little rig with not many options. Outside plowing, a little bit of snow, new tires, testing out the reverse lockout. So it's in first gear there right now. I've been using it and it works good. So I just tap this, neutral, reverse. I don't need to use the lockout, and that's way better for plowing because I need one hand to run the plow controls up and down. So yeah, that's pretty handy, and you don't have to worry about it going into reverse if it's moving, because it won't, electronically it won't let you. So it only goes into reverse if it's like 0 miles per hour or 0 kilometers per hour, I believe. Well, here she is outside, pushing snow around with the new tires. Tested out the reverse lockout and it works good. So that's good. Got lots of snow on the plow. And she works all right. I got this coal pin switchblade configured into the 60-inch configuration, I think it is. So it's not pushing too much snow all at once. But it's just wide enough to cover the 50-inch track of the Pioneer 520. So that seems to work out.